Lust is one of those things that I kind of had to figure out on my own throughout this spiritual journey. Definitely a lot of ups and downs through the whole entire process, but I'm just gonna break down just kind of everything that I went through, um, like the stages that I had to go to get to where I am now. The first step was the same cycle. I would repeat the same cycle of just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something to change, but it wasn't changing. Nothing was changing. I was just doing the same thing day in, day out, and it was very frustrating. Like I got very upset that every single time I did it, I failed. I just wasn't learning from my mistakes, um, and like it brought me to a very dark place, where I felt like I was like in a dark tunnel, and you see the end of the light. It's basically what it felt like, where the light, I just couldn't reach it, no matter how hard I tried. It was very tough mentally and spiritually, but I overcame it. And the next thing would be avoid temptation. So whatever the problem was that I was trying to overcome, I had to face it head first, and basically eliminate the problem that was the whole reason why I was failing, and I kept repeating the same thing, was because I wasn't removing the thing that was causing the problem in the first place. So like distractions like apps or websites, that was definitely one of the things that helped me just kind of like remove anything that is just distracting me and just leading me into temptation. Definitely helped. I just removed everything off my phone that I didn't need for like basic communication. Um, and it was very boring, like just having nothing to do on your phone. Like you're so used to, like the whole brain is so used to like always doing something. And whenever you eliminate that, it's just like, it kind of breaks down what actually needs to be done versus what doesn't. Um, Basically what I was doing in my spare time. And then the next one was just embracing being a human being, and just acknowledging those feelings that I have. Um, it just comes down from like a biological, genetical type of DNA that humans have, toward that kind of stuff. And I feel like lust is a natural thing that everyone has inside of them. It's just some people choose to use that for evil. Um, and I didn't want to indulge in that, so I just tried to protect my energy and stay away from that. But at the same time, still like embrace the feelings that I was having, the emotions, and not completely get rid of it, but just kind of not act on impulse, whatever my brain was telling me to do, just not act on it and um, just kind of look at it and accept it, but don't act on your impulses. And then the next one was don't have streaks. So I feel like whenever I had streaks, that can go for anything. Um, but for this example, it would be for lust. And, like whenever you have like something like a goal in mind and you're aiming for it, and um, once you hit that goal, it's kind of like, what else is there to do um, after you accomplish what you set out to do? And I feel like I was always just kind of like anticipating for something to happen, um, or just something that happened that would stop me from reaching my goal. And every single time I failed, my streak ended basically, and it just brought me like mentally down. And I just kind of beat myself up, and it's like, dude, come on, you keep doing the same thing over. And it's like, I just couldn't learn. But whenever I just kind of like set that aside and just kind of live life every single day, um, just day in and day out, not really paying attention to the time that goes by, definitely helped me. And then the next one is having a reason to quit. So I definitely had a lot of reasons why I wanted to quit. The first one, or just kind of one that I had, just the general um, reason why I wanted to quit was because it made me feel good. That's just one of the many reasons I had. And I'll go on to more here in a second, but that is just one of the reasons why I just didn't want to continue to indulge in lustful stuff. How lust and was interacting with my day-to-day life, and it was just kind of getting in the way of everything. First thing is it's not really realistic. The things that I was seeing at a young age, um, and just like experienced over time, those things weren't really realistic, and they're more like a fantasy, you know. Um, and I knew it wasn't realistic for my lifestyle. The next one was I don't really have like a desire for a relationship or a family at this time. Um, Probably not in the future either, to be honest. Um, so doing that would kind of like only um, kind of tempt me into doing something that I'm not really going to be even doing with a real person, you know, another partner that I would have. It just kind of would like it wouldn't really match, you know. The next one is, you know, over time, like whenever you get like so used to something, your mind just kind of goes numb to it, and I lost interest basically. There was no like curiosity or uh, anything left for my mind to really imagine. Um, and that kind of is a good thing, but at the same time, it's not because I had to like go through all these things and be put on this test to end up where I am now, if that makes sense. And I had to like see everything to, you know, have nothing left for there to be to basically distract me and take me off my purpose. Um, the next one would be a waste of time and energy. I only felt like it would be meaningful to give my energy to someone else that I felt like I was gonna have a family with, and just use it for like reproducing purposes. I just don't want my essentially my chakra or just energy to go to someone who I don't plan to spend the rest of my time with. It just kind of doesn't make sense like logically to me. Next one would be that the body regulates itself, and there's no need to lose any of the resources that I have inside of me, that chakra. Um, and, you know, like naturally, the body will take care of itself. And I just leave that up to nature, essentially. The next one would be not being in control of my body and my mind. Um, like leaders basically have to do what is best for the pack. And if the leader can't lead the pack, then how is he going to lead himself? There's just something kind of I thought about um, when I was coming up with ideas or just like lists of things. Um, how am I going to be able to lead a pack of people if I'm not able to lead myself into where I want to be in the future, you know, um, and just stay on the right track, the righteous track. Um, that's another reason. Just kind of like how I already live my life is basically pretty low stress, pretty um, peaceful life, no drama. And I just kind of want to keep that minimalistic lifestyle. And then in the future, I plan to buy a van and basically live the van life. And that kind of would go against the way of my lifestyle. Um, that's just another reason. Being biologically and genetically still attracted to the opposite gender is something that I still feel inside of me. It's just like, you know, that DNA that you can't really erase. Um, Let me see. But just not wanting anything like sexual out of it. Um, you know, like I appreciate and I admire people for people, you know? But I don't want to be thrown off into everything being so sexualized more than it needs to be, especially nowadays. It's just everywhere. Like lust is everywhere, and I just don't want to add to that. Essentially, another reason would be I feel like God was protecting me from any of the negative energy or things that weren't basically meant to be in my life. I feel like He was protecting me, and I feel like the things that are supposed to happen in life, if the opportunity presents itself and um, nothing happens, I feel like life kind of happens in cycles where there will be more opportunities for that thing to happen in your life, whether it be relationships or just kind of things like that. I feel like there's multiple opportunities that can be seen in different forms, like not exactly the same as it was, but in like another version of that essentially. And then the last one would be that the eyes are the window to the soul, and just kind of going with protecting my energy from the lust. I feel like it was just kind of one of those things where you just get so used to seeing something and your eyes just kind of get used to it, and it's just kind of like every single day you see it's like nothing new. um, and I wanted just to protect my energy from that and just try to stay as pure as I could possibly be as a human being. But I know that's not like possible, but just do the best that I could to protect my own body. They say that the body is also like a temple, and whatever you give your body is what's going to be shown outwardly, like externally. So just take care of the temple and protect my energy. But those are the reasons that I came up with. There's probably more reasons that I have, but those are just essentially most of the reasons why I have to, you know, not lust and protect your energy. But that's pretty much it. So yeah.